बहुत कुछ हो गया है. Got COVID there. Came back, gave it to the family, people in the past who have not maybe had a great equation with, absolutely different, but it was a story which I felt was so right for the time, it was so relatable.
Welcome to the Bollywood talk show on IWMBuzz. This is your host Shubhojit. I have with me another very interesting guest over here, the one and only charming, handsome, good looking. I'm running short of adjectives for this man, the one and only Nakuul Mehta. कैसे हो सर? सबसे पहले बताओ.
Don't run short, take a breath, sit down. मैं बहुत अच्छा हूँ यार. I feel excited, happy and also relieved because the last few months have been insane whilst trying to manage a television show and shooting Never Kiss on the fly. Now promoting feels like बहुत कुछ हो गया है. Got COVID there. Came back, gave it to the family. I finally feel like a little bit of a circle is finally, it's been delivered. A baby has been delivered. And I feel
that's it.
Peace.
क्या बात है. But you know, just because of all the lovely things that have happened in your life so far. मेरा I think सही चल रहा है. I think वो let it be. Let's screw the network. We are here. I think we can still figure out. But you know, whatever it is, you know, apart from the COVID part, of course, whatever good things have been happening with you, I want to clap for you. Please clap for yourself as well because self-love is very important. So from the COVID part, congratulations to you for everything that you have been going through in terms of success and everything. Before I, take the conversation forward, I think it's very important. मुझे सबसे पहले please बताइए, and I'm very curious to know this from your end. You know, you've just mentioned right now television show, web series, etc. and everything together at the same time. Acting as a process doesn't change, but because the medium is different, you know, maybe there's a change in schedule. Television का क्या है, आप daily almost shoot करते हो. Web series का वैसा नहीं है. So when you're shooting for a web series, is it more difficult to stay relevant to the character that you are playing compared to a TV show because that you are playing every day?
That's a really good question, and I'm glad you didn't ask me फर्क क्या है, and you yourself told me. You know what was hard for me is usually I enjoy the process of doing a web show because it's short burst of very focused energy, say 45 days, 60 days, right?
Yeah.
And you're in and out. But this one was a bit more challenging for me because I was doing both simultaneously. So I was doing 10 days of Bade, taking a flight, landing, going straight to the Never Kiss set, shooting for 10 days, taking a flight straight to Bade sets. I literally had between December, Jan and Feb, I had 2 days off. And those were the turnaround days after flights. So I think that was a disadvantage. I didn't have everyone else stayed in London for 40 days, did the show, came back. I was constantly shuttling. So it wasn't easy, but what made it easier was that playing Sumer Singh Dhillon wasn't new to me. I had, in a way, I was part of the birthing process, right, with the first season. The remnants of it or the DNA of the character has always stayed within me. So that part was easy. But straddling both worlds together was, we have grown up hearing stories of Govinda Saab doing 3 shifts a day and Anil Kapoor ji doing 2 shifts a day. And I used to wonder कि क्या है इसमें क्या है, मतलब मजा तो आता होगा, अलग-अलग चीजें कर रहे हो. जब मुझे करना पड़ा ना तो जितनी जान गई है मुझे ही पता है. I mean, it's been physically it was quite I was always fatigued, I thought. But मजा ही बहुत आया.
Yeah. Of course, you got to relive that experience that you just spoke about right now, Govinda sir and Anil Kapoor ji. Some great names have done it. I'm pretty sure you can do it as well with this, right?
Yeah.
But tell me something. You mentioned about this fact that you have played this character. Of course, the nitty-gritties of it. The character sketch, borderline, everything in terms of what the character is about. In terms of expectations, do you worry as an actor that there was certain expectations that were created after season 1 was liked by the audience? So when you have to carry forward the same character, of course, in a unique way in season 2, are you somewhere down the line also skeptical about the expectations, whether people will, look forward to draw similarities between season 1 or not?
Shubho, I kid you not, but it never even crossed my mind. My process as an actor or as a human being is very different. For me, when season 1 also happened, we thought we were making a fun, light, breezy show. We're shooting this in London. Ended up making some great friends on set, and we said, hey, it's a fun, honest show. Let's see what it does. And it found like a very cult niche audience, right? I'm not saying it's a Mirzapur or it's a audience, but it found a niche and a audience in the youth which found it so relatable. So I didn't expect anything from it, but it found its own audience, and that's why a season 2 was made. And when season 2 was made, I said, hey, another chance to sort of live those times and now play a more evolved version of the same character, right? So for me, and that process again, I felt that as an actor, to be able to be a leading man on one of the most popular shows on TV, whilst being able to do something I deeply enjoy, that opportunity in itself was so rare to find. It rarely happens that you're able to sort of put your feet in both, sort of boats.
True. And balance as well.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to. Let's see now what people think of it.
That's good.
But I think that dopamine hit was so high that I never thought people going to receive it, because I received it with a lot of excitement, man. And but now, in fact, since today, I've been now interviewing with a few friends, and some of them have seen a few episodes, some have read the reviews, and all of them are now excited about it. Now is when I begin to think, oh, okay, so people were expecting, and I am also supposed to feel anxious about it. So today I'm feeling a bit like, what are people thinking? Otherwise it never crossed my mind.
Yeah. But I think that's a good way to go about things, I believe, because you just focused on your craft and what you're supposed to do. And
that's
you're not
the only way, man.
That's
the only thing in our hand, right? Like while you're doing this interview, whilst your boss might want this to hit like many thousand views, like for you, I'm sure like having a great conversation is something you'll take back at the end of the day.
Absolutely. That is
my job's the same, man. My job's the same. It's my producers look out to see कि कितने लोग देखते हैं. मुझे तो मजे करने हैं.
Just काम करो, खत्म करो, and then look forward to a new day.
Yes.
But tell me something. Your character of Sumer, what you have seen what we have seen in the past, rather in season 2, the past tends to come back. As I'm not giving too many spoilers for people who have not seen, of course, but the past comes back in a certain way. And I want to understand if in any way, it might be a professional past, it might be a personal past. If something like that in real life happens with Nakuul Mehta, would he actually encourage something like that in order to be a part of his current life, or would he actually look forward to, isolate that bit of the past, and he would want to keep it as past itself?
Oh wow, I've never thought of this. Such an interesting question. You're making me think of this.
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting, but Shubhu, I would like to believe that I'm not someone who, keeps things to his chest. I have ended up working with people in the past who have not maybe had a great equation with. But for me, I feel at that point it didn't go well, but that doesn't mean I should categorize them or bracket them as people who are despicable or who I don't enjoy. I feel then it's limiting my own sort of ability to accept different kinds of people. They're just not like maybe you, or their thought process is different.
Right.
So if it came to friendships or relationships at work, I would think I would, unless things were disrespectful between people, I would happily go on and, sort of work with somebody I might have and may not have had a pleasant experience. But being fully cognizant this time that you will not let sort of things go out of hand. But I will not
repeat.
I will not hold on at all. I would totally do it.
Wonderful. But मुझे एक चीज बताइए, you've been and I really want to understand your perspective on this, because slowly and steadily things are happening, and of course you know it a lot better than me. For the longest time, TV actors or actors who have worked in television, they have been stereotyped in multiple ways. When, like, say for example, when an actor goes on to give an audition for a movie, a lot of people just categorize TV karta hai. So you're getting what I'm saying, right? So slowly and steadily, this thing is changing, and OTT has brought this revelation in itself. Things are changing. How important is it for a personality who is very well known for his body of work in television to do kick-ass roles on maybe OTT in order to, get out of that stereotype in today's time?
So I feel, whilst I fully agree with you, I think if, I consider myself as the now generation, I would say, of the flag bearers of television as actors at least.
Yes.
I think it's very important to push the boundaries, right? And I have never internally let the limitation of maybe people perceiving me as a TV star stop me from auditioning or giving my best. But I feel I don't think we can take credit for it. I think our sort of predecessors, some amazing actors like Ronit, Ram, Sakshi, they all have actually broken these barriers and they've straddled between film, television, OTT and been just as good, right?
Yes.
I feel it's really up to us. If you are committed, if your craft is worthy of a certain sort of medium or platform or a role, there is no reason that you will not be doing that, right? So I will not let the perception of another human being categorizing me into a block get in the way of me trying to expand my sort of limits
horizon
and horizon as an actor. I feel that's completely my struggle, and that I struggle on a daily basis, and that I do struggle on a daily basis by trying to better myself on television itself. I feel it's not that when I get a web project where I go out and do my best. I do that every day on TV, and I take great pride in the fact that why should television be considered over the top usually? Why can't you be as realistic in your portrayal? Yes, you're catering to a certain sort of platform audience, so the drama may be heightened, right? So for me, it's like if a Shah Rukh does a Dawn and a Shah Rukh does a Swades, same actor, one performance is maybe on steroids, one stylized, and one performance is very here. I feel somewhere actors on television also, some of them I think have forgotten that you don't have to take your job so seriously, but depending on the role you bring realism or stylization, or you play it on a pedestal. And that's been at least my sort of brief to myself when I take on a role, like what does this project need? Like IWMBuzz was a role which required a bit of a platform, required stylizing, required a certain way of speaking. Bade Acche is not that. Bade Acche is a very real, conversational, mature story, right? I think it totally depends on each artist and how they approach their work.
Do you take critics very seriously in terms of what they say and what they not, or is it your own personal feedback?
I like to listen to everyone, and I like to listen to everyone. It doesn't have to be someone I like alone, and I will acknowledge someone who may not, like what I do also. But I think I have a fair sense of understanding when I've done well and when I've not, right? And that, I think luckily that barometer has not got muddled because of stardom or success or fame. And I'm able to touch wood, and I think that is something I really work hard to keep pure. And I think I know when I'm not good. Like I know one performance where I wasn't great and I could have been better. But I also know the performances where I'm hitting the right notes. But still, I love to sort of listen if people have another contrarian point of view. I'd love to sort of hear that, and I'm sure there might be some takeaway from me. Would take it seriously? No.
That's what it matters at the end of the day. And I think it's a wonderful quality to be blessed. If you have that potential to be having that self-reflection thing where where you're good at yourself, then I think wonderful way to go ahead with things. Last question, Nakul, aapko main puchunga before I let you go. Do you actually, when you pick characters that you want to play, do you personally have any sort of bifurcation in your mind that, okay, fine, this character is similar to what Nakuul Mehta is in real life, or this character is probably actually not at all similar to what Nakuul is, so maybe this is more exciting. Do you bifurcate your characters that way when you pick?
No.
Okay.
Because let's understand that after a certain time stature you may have achieved as an actor on the medium you are in, people also come to you because they feel you do this really well, right? So I have been known, or I have this tag of doing a lot of romantic work, but then it's my individual work of how do I make those roles different, right?
Right.
For people it might be the same genre, but I feel it's my personal work of how do I make a Shivai different from a Ram Kapoor, different from a Sumer Singh Dhillon. And I think there is a lot of nuance and work required even there. Not everyone recognizes it. I think it's easier to recognize when you go from a romantic comedy to say when a Seh went from Dil Chahta Hai to Langda Pyar. But if you really look at Saif's performances, some of the other romantic work he's done, like Hum Tum, there's a lot of nuance, man. It's easier to miss. It's easier when you do a drastically different role, right? But I think the challenge is in the same sort of genre or territory, how do you bring differentness in different roles? So I don't choose, see, number one, as an actor, not that you have the world which is being offered to you, and let's be honest, I get the best there is on television. On OTT, it's as much of a fight for me as it is for everyone else. And most of the stuff which gets offered, I don't like, so I don't do it. But no one's offered me something which is drastically different. And if it came, I would love to do it, but I would not do it just because it's drastically different. I would do it because I believe in the story. The story, like Never Kiss, to be honest, I thought the story wasn't like something which was absolutely different, but it was a story which I felt was so right for the time. It was so relatable. It is so light and breezy in a time when everything is hard hitting. So for me, at the time it came, it instinctively felt like, hey, this is a good story to tell, right? And then the character follows that.
Basically, Chinese से अगर Italian पे जाते हो तो वो सबको नजर आता है, लेकिन Chinese में if you mix other spices, तो तब जाके that is the real deal. That's what you need to see.
Seasoning से बनती है ना आपका जो fine taste होता है. एकदम. अगर आप पास्ता अमर जूस सेंटर में खाओगे तो वो सेम टेस्ट करेगा. But if you go to Italy and have pasta, in different restaurant, it's the seasoning and touches, and that's what you bring in as an actor, right? Now, if people see it or not, I don't think is important, because they have to enjoy the dish. As long as they're enjoying the pizza and pasta I'm serving them, that's fine. I don't care if I'm not serving them a burrito. I'll make sure that the pizza and pasta I serve them is going to be top.
Ekdam, top-notch stuff indeed. Just like this top-notch conversation from your end. Thank you so much, Nakuul bhai. It has been a pleasure, and I'm very, very happy to see the reviews that are coming from your, not just from your end, the friends, critics, etc. थोड़े बहुत जो review मैंने Google में देखे कुछ देर पहले.
I look forward to hearing what you think of it when you see it, bro.
I will definitely tell you that as well, and I'm right now just happy with the fact that something that you genuinely believed in is working in your way. Thank you so much for this conversation. I wish you all the best. Lots of love to your family, especially the little one, and God bless with all the happiness.
Thank you. You take care, man.
Thank you. Yeah, you too.